Welcome to another session on IT and Automation Academy's YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about what is the difference between PLC and SCADA system. If you are a fresh engineer and you're trying to get a job in automation field, you might face this question in your interview. Your concept would be very much clear if in the case you stick to the end of the video. This video is sponsored by VCon Technology.
VCon provide integrated products and solutions for automation such as HMI, PLC, server controller, IIoT solutions like VNet and VBox and inverter.
If you want to know more about VCon, please go ahead and visit their website. Let's start with what PLC stands for. PLC stands for Programmable Logic Controller. What SCADA stands for? Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System. Before we understand the difference between PLC and SCADA, it's important to understand what is a PLC and what is SCADA. PLC is industrial computer that is used to control different industrial processes. Like when you talk about process plants like oil and gas, fertilizer, when you talk about manufacturing processes such as robotics, assembly lines and machines. Now let's talk about what is SCADA. SCADA, or Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, is a system that consists of softwares and hardware. One of the big misunderstanding most of the people have, the SCADA is only software. But the truth is the SCADA consists of both software and hardware. The job of SCADA system is to monitor and control different industrial processes locally and remotely. SCADA system monitor, gather and process real-time data. Not only that, it would also store historical data. SCADA consists of RTUs, MTUs and the network that connects MTUs and RTU. If you are using SCADA in a factory-centered environment, SCADA system also consists PLCs, and for sure the PLC is then connected to different instrumentation that is used to control different processes. In a layman term, you can understand that the SCADA is eye on the process and your PLC is a brain actually. In a PLC, you would be writing a code, and based on that logic or code what you have written into that, PLC would be controlling a specific process or machinery or any assembly line or maybe a robotic system. On another end, when we talk about SCADA system, SCADA give you a graphical representation of what's going on into the process. What's the value of temperature? What's the value of a level, flow, or different process parameter of your industry? If in the case you are trying to use PLC in oil and gas industry, then it would be displaying you what are the different process parameter values in your process. You would be able to change the values of a different process parameter by using SCADA system. One important difference to understand here, PLC system cannot show you the graphics and your SCADA system cannot control the thing directly. SCADA system is not used to write a logic or control different processes. For that, you have to rely on PLC, DCS system, or in some of the cases, intelligent RTU. PLC works to control our devices, meaning with the help of a PLC, we can turn our devices off or on by putting different conditions, while SCADA shows the ongoing work in our company with the help of animation and graphical representation on our computer screens. As the tank is getting full or lift is going up and down, all these things are shown by using graphics and animation. Can we use PLC as a part of a SCADA system? Answer to that is yes. When you're trying to connect locally to different PLCs on a SCADA system, and you're using SCADA on a factory-centered environment, you would be getting the data on your SCADA screen by using a PLC. As you can see on the architecture provided here. If you want to know detail of this thing, for sure there's a link of a video, what is SCADA, please go ahead and watch it. That would definitely clarify your doubts about that. When we talk about the SCADA system depends on both softwares and hardware. When we talk about the softwares, you definitely need a SCADA software. For instance, if you talk about VNTR SCADA, you have a software for that which is used to write or create the graphics or write a script. So this is the SCADA software that would be running on your operator screens as well, that would be showing you what's the process values in your process industry. And then you got hardwares. When we talk about hardwares, you got in MTUs, you got in your different computers that are there, you got in your PLCs if in the case you are trying to get or fetch the data down the line by using PLCs, then the PLC is a part of your system. So PLCs, RTUs, MTUs, and your different computers are actually your hardwares. And when we talk about the softwares, then you got in different softwares like WinTR SCADA, WinCC Professional, which for instance, whenever we're in touch. In short, we can say that SCADA system consists of a hardwares and software both. But on another end, when we talk about PLC, it's just a piece of hardware which act as a brain, and you would be writing a code inside that, and that particular PLC would be controlling a specific process. It would be controlling a specific machine, maybe robotics. In the cases, you would be controlling maybe some assembly lines as well by using a PLC. And PLC is definitely made for harsh environment, which is suitable for most of the process industries. Another difference between PLC and SCADA, in SCADA there are different programming languages. Like VB, you would be writing a script mostly in SCADA system in VB, whereas when we talk about PLC, the languages are like ladder, FPD, STL. When we talk about PLC don't store the historical data, whereas when we talk about the SCADA system normally store your historical values. So if in the case you want to see what's the pressure value or different process parameters in history, maybe 1 year back, 2 years back, 10 years back, you would be relying on the SCADA on that side. PLC would definitely not help you in that case. So in short, if in the case we summarize the difference between PLC and SCADA, PLC act as a brain in process industry, whereas when we talk about the SCADA systems, it is an eye on the process. Although SCADA system on a bigger picture consists of a PLCs, RTUs, which are controlling devices, but when we talk about the main purpose of a SCADA system, it is to remotely monitor and control different processes. And when we talk about the main purpose of a PLC, this is just to control different processes. Like in a fertilizer industry, you're trying to control a small process. If in the case you're trying to control a small machine, you are trying to automate an assembly line, for that case you would be opting for a PLC. With that, I would conclude this video. If you like this video, consider hitting the like button. If in the case you haven't subscribed our YouTube channel, consider subscribing, because we would continue making amazing content like this, which would definitely help you to unlock your potential in domain of PLC, DCS, SCADA, and HMI. If in the case you haven't followed us on Instagram, you can definitely do that, because we would be having amazing sessions coming up where you would be able to talk to me directly through Instagram Live. Instagram information is provided into the description of the video, and you can see here on somewhere on the display as well. Until next video, take care and Allah Hafiz.